Man, if you've never been punched in the face before, you either do one thing: you cower, and that's okay, or you feel fucking fire in your soul. What's up, guys? Brando with the AC, and I am freshly back in the state of Minnesota from my trip to Sturgis. And as you can tell, the scenery is more different than usual. I'm out of the city. I'm actually heading up to Duluth, Minnesota for my brother's birthday party. So I had a great time in Sturgis. I'm going to do a few separate videos on Sturgis, so I'm not going to talk too much about it in this video. But I did just drop a trailer last night to give you a little preview of some of the video I took out there. A lot of great rides. But what I want to talk to you about today is, what is the Alpha Core? And where did it come from? Where did I dream up this idea of what it is and what I hope it to become one day? And honestly, I wish I had a quick answer for you. I wish I had that 30-second elevator pitch for you guys, but I don't. This journey started when I was 15 years old and I found out that my girlfriend was pregnant. Regardless of your opinion of whether you think I should or should not have been sexually active at that age, I was, and it happened, and you can't fucking change it. And I wouldn't, because I've got a gorgeous daughter now who's about to be 23 years old next weekend, and she's now 8 years older than I was when I found out that her mom was pregnant with her. And to me, that blows my fucking mind, because I'm not even 40 years old yet. To kind of put shit in perspective for you guys. 40 still going on 16 as far as my fucking humor is. But anyway, at that age, I was no longer a kid. I mean, I was physically, but I had to have a shift in my mind happen at that very moment. So from there, my life of playing football and martial arts was done. My free time was over, and I was thrown into trying to figure out what kind of person I was going to become for my daughter. So I lied on my application and I got a fucking job at McDonald's. And then I got another job in addition to that at an entertainment convention, doing security sometimes, scooping fucking ice cream at hockey games, selling t-shirts at concerts, doing custodial work if that's what was required. I did anything that anybody would fucking pay me for. So fast forward 13 years, my son is born. I've got a bunch of failed relationships. I've got 8 deployments. And man, both of my kids are coming up on being teenagers. And I'm like, fuck. Either I continue doing a job that I've grown to love, or I get off active duty and I bring my ass back to the state of Minnesota that's frozen half of the fucking year, and I try to be as much of a full-time dad as I can. So that's what I do. Boom, dad's home. Now reality sets in. It's not party dad, it's fucking the dad who's around all the time and doesn't have the money to fucking party like a rock star with his deployment money. I go to school full time using my GI Bill. I get a job, so I'm working full-time job, full-time school, burning the candle from both ends for sure. I went to school for health and fitness, exercise science. Now I'm working as a personal trainer in the most elite training studio in Minneapolis at that time. Minnesota was considered the most fit state, and Minneapolis the most fit city. I thought I hit the fucking jackpot. I'm working at the most elite studio in the most fit city, in the most fit state, but not making that much money. But either way, I was having a good time. I love helping people. I love helping people better themselves in any way. But eventually, I needed to make some more cash and do something different. So I left that job, the job that I'm at now, which in comparison wasn't a crazy amount more, but gives me more opportunity. Working a job that I like, was finally in a positive, non-destructive relationship. Had my kids close to me, had the rest of my family close to me, but I was still unhappy. And man, I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. I was depressed. I was lashing out. I was having problems with everything in my life, even though I had everything that I thought that I wanted. So I had to dig down deep. I had to start doing some research. What the fuck is going on with me? As I did some research, I started reflecting on the conversations I'd have with different men of all different income brackets, of all different races, from all different parts of the world. And the more thinking I did, the more research I did, I found some things to be true. Although they may feel successful in their professional field, although they may feel completely satisfied in their relationship and with their family, there's still something missing. And what I found is that it's meaningful friendships. Guys aren't doing what they used to do. Most men aren't having the guys' night, right? Not anymore, they're not. Men aren't being involved in their communities as much anymore. So I had to think, well, when was I the most happy? And for me, that's when I was on active duty. And it was the last command that I was with. It was in a mobile security unit with a bunch of badass motherfuckers. Some of them were my best friends. And one of them remains my best friend to this day, and he will until the day that both of us fucking decide to either jump off a cliff or fucking get in a rocket ship and leave this fucking planet. He lives in San Diego, I live in Minneapolis. So, if you've got a best friend and he lives in that same city that you live in, good for you, man. So I found, you know, what the problem was is that I didn't have those relationships that I used to have. And even though I had all these people around me and I was doing good things and I thought I had everything I wanted, I was still very much alone. So I thought, what is it that I would do if money wasn't a problem for me, aside from travel, aside from frickin', you know, living like a rock star and like frickin', what's his name, Dan Blazarian, basically giving a 14-year-old $500 million. What would I want to do? And I tell you what, I would want to work out, I would want to fight, I would want to shoot guns, and I would want to drink beer with my bros. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start doing that shit. Now, granted, a motherfucker's gotta work, right? So you can't do that stuff every day. But I got a few guys together and I put them through a workout, took them to a cool shooting range, and then we got together and drank a bunch of beer and talked about what a good time it was. And after doing that a couple times, one dude was like, hey, man, you need to start doing this and charging money for it. And I was like, why charge money for it, man? This is a lot of fun. I was only thinking about myself at that time. I wasn't thinking about the value that that experience had for everybody else who was going through it. So what I did was I gave it a name. And I called it Barbells, Bullets, and Brew. And I started doing these events. And I'd invite, like, you know, up to 16 people. And I started getting other people involved. Started getting gym owners involved. Started getting self-defense training instructors involved. Started talking to the different restaurants and breweries and tap rooms that we would go to and getting them involved. And trying to create something that was more than just an event, and trying to create something that was more of a community, more of something that guys wanted to get together and not worry about the bullshit at work, being all politically correct, not worrying about whether you're gonna say the wrong thing and offend somebody, gaining that masculinity back in their lives and doing something that's kick-ass, making them feel like a fucking action hero for a day. A lot of these guys, they don't work out on a regular basis. And if you have worked out and it sucked and you felt awesome afterwards, then you know what the hell I'm talking about. Because you're like, man, that feels awesome. But the journey there, it fucking sucks, man. And that's okay. Because during that suckiness, during the suck, you're finding out something about yourself. You're finding out what it's like to persevere. You get through that shittiness because there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And there's a better you on the other side. We're taking these guys and putting them in situations where they need to rely on other people in a team element in order to do the work to get through the other side. And that's a pretty awesome experience. And then when we do this, the fighting or the firearms portion of it, these guys are all learning a skill. Man, if you've never been punched in the face before, you either do one thing: you cower, and that's okay. At least you know. Or you feel fucking fire in your soul. You can unleash that fucking thing when you need to. However, rage and fury don't mean shit if you don't have any technical skill. And we've all seen it on the playground when we were kids, right? That motherfucker that's just doing the windmill. Just wild swinging at the dude's head. One thing that every human being on this planet has is the inherent right to defend yourself and your loved ones. Now, this isn't a one-time thing. Nobody takes a martial arts class and becomes a fucking ninja. Nobody goes to a boxing academy one time and can take on Muhammad Ali. Nobody can pick up a handgun or a rifle and go through one training course and become a motherfucking operator and a goddamn John Wick doing gung fu all over the fucking place. What this event does is inspire these guys to start doing something like that. Maybe they do it weekly, maybe they do it monthly. It doesn't matter, as long as they choose to start implementing that into their life in some sort of increment. Now, moving on to the brews portion, well, that's just a bunch of good fun, because what we're doing here is manufacturing camaraderie. And I say there's a recipe for it. Ooh, that sign said tacos. I may be stopping. The recipe for camaraderie, for manufacturing camaraderie, right? There's elements that exist. There's a shared suffering, right? That's one, shared suffering. You talk to any military member and ask them about the times that they were suffering with their peers. For me, that's some of my favorite times. Man, it's shitty when it's happening, but it's the things that you do, those experiences that you're sharing with those other people that are helping you get through it. Because it's not only sitting on a watch for 18 hours. It's not only being in the cold and the rain or in the frickin' 120 degree desert heat, right? It's missing births of your children. It's missing holidays with your family. It's being on watch when every other motherfucker in this country is celebrating the 4th of July. It's those times that suck, and the people that you're with that are helping you get through it, that is shared suffering. So that's the first part of the recipe. The second part of the recipe for manufacturing camaraderie is skill development. Learning something with these people that you suffer with, that you have overcome certain obstacles as a team, and now you're learning things together. You're taking those skills, you're developing them together, you're learning to work as a team, and it's fucking badass. Shit that most people only see in movies. The social aspect is the bonding that happens. I'll tell you that when I was on active duty and I was in my mobile security unit in Coronado, California, some of our work days would be 12, 14 hours long. And I can tell you honestly that I would work those days and I couldn't wait to get off work so I could hang out with those same people that I was working with all day, so we could go crack some beers, so we could go get some food, grill, ride motorcycles, do whatever the fuck we were gonna do together. Now that's camaraderie, and I'll talk more about that in my should you join the military video whenever the hell I decide to try to do it again. But that's what this Barbells, Bullets, and Brew was designed to manufacture. Now I'll say camaraderie, but maybe camaraderie like, you know, fucking diet camaraderie. Camaraderie light. Because it's not the military. It's not law enforcement. It's not first responder corps. It's not firefighters. Like those types of communities, those types of cultures, right? That's where that type of camaraderie exists in. Well, what I'm trying to do with this is develop something much more. The Barbells, Bullets, and Brews is only one event. So what I want to do with the Alpha Corps is branch out and do more community engagements. The Alpha Corps is a community of men that are looking to help redesign the modern man. Get rid of this pussification of man that's going on right now, where it's more cool to fucking dress like a lumberjack than to actually know how to chop wood. What the fuck? Now the Alpha Corps isn't just about redeeming masculinity, right? We're about creating better men. So what does that mean? So the Barbells, Bullets, and Brew is only one event. I want to do other events that could be for charity, where we're raising money. Fuck. Veteran outreach programs, children's hospital stuff, where we're getting men together to do great things for whatever it is. And I'm looking for ideas, because I don't want this to just be local to where I'm at. I want this to be able to grow and to spread, and where when you hear, yeah, I'm a part of the AC, people know what the hell that means. And maybe this YouTube channel grows into being more than just me fucking bullshitting at the camera. Maybe it's ACTV eventually. We're actually doing episodes of going out and showing how we can help people. So it is badassery, but it's also community involvement. But all together, it's to help guys feel better about themselves, inspiring them to do better things for themselves and their families and their community. So, let me know what you think, guys. If you have questions, I want to hear them. If you have suggestions, I want to know about them. If you want to be a part of what I'm trying to develop, let me know. And I'll figure out a way. We'll figure this shit out. But anyway, you guys know what to do. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to be around and see more content from the Alpha Core, go ahead and click that subscribe and then click the bell so you know when I'm dropping new shit. But I'm getting into Duluth now, so I'm gonna stop talking. I'll catch you guys later.